attack Pakistan, and you told our pilots, do not attack their air defense system. Meaning you told our pilots, go and attack and face the air defense system of Pakistan. Meaning you tied their hands behind their back. Right? And the defense minister has said this in Parliament House itself, that we told the Pakistanis that we are not going to attack their infrastructure. इन्होंने बोला publicly house में कि भैया हम आपके जो military infrastructure है, आपके air defense system को हम नहीं attack करेंगे. और दूसरे side से आप हमारे pilot भेज रहे हो.
I think enough is enough, and all the three chiefs were very clear, something has to be done. And the free hand was given, of course, that you decide what is to be done. And that is the kind of a confidence with the political directions and political clarity for the first time we saw. And that's what made a difference, because we want to do a lot, but that kind of hand-holding and kind of free, no terms of restrictions, if I can say that. And that is what kind of raises up your morale. And that is how it helped our army commanders or commander-in-chiefs on ground to kind of act as per their wisdom. Of course, then 25th, we visited the Northern Command, as you're aware, that is the place where we thought, planned, conceptualized and executed the 7 targets out of the 9 which were destroyed, and where a lot of terrorists were killed, where everybody was knowing what is happening. So my Southern Army commander sitting at Pune, who is controlling the Rajasthan, doesn't have to tell J&K what is he doing.
Mistake was made by the political leadership that said you cannot attack the military infrastructure. And Anil Chauhanji must have the guts to say this. That my hands were tied behind my back and I was sent into war, and my enemy was told by my own government that we will not attack your air defense.
29th April, of course, was the time when we met the Prime Minister for the first time, and thereafter, next day, of course, why I'm telling you this, because it's important that how a small name of Sindoor connects the whole nation. And I was telling director also that when he briefed me on this, he said, okay, we'll have this name Op Sindhu. And I thought it is Op Sindhu. Sindhu is basically Indus River. So I said, excellent, sir. And the Indus Water Treaty has just been frozen by you. He said, no, it is Op Sindhu. And just see, this one name has connected the whole nation together. And today people are saying Sindoor to Sindhu, everything we have taken care of. But that is something which galvanized the whole nation as such. And the soldiers per se, because when I went on ground and I told them that, look, any sister, mother, daughter, whenever she applies the vermilion or the Sindoor, she will always remember the soldier. And I think that was the connect. And I think that was the connect which they brought the whole nation together for one cause. And that is the reason I think the whole nation was saying, why have you stopped? I think that's the question which was being asked. But of course, that has been amply answered by. So the strategic clarity was in dime. That is diplomatic, information, military and economic. And that's why you see that the IWT was frozen. Then High Commission strength was reduced. The defense personnel were moved out. Persona non grata, they were declared. And visas were revoked. Because when you go for such kind of offensives, what happens? You need to always look at what the other side is thinking and how this chess is going to get played. So what we did, we created a red team. So this time what we did differently, as far as Uri, you are aware that it was a 2016, it was a shallow thrust and it was launch pad we were looking at. It is basically to convey a message. As for Balakot in 2019, we were looking at penetrating through J&K, going across to training camps which are in Pakistan, and again a kind of giving a punishment. But this time I think that is Pahalgam 25, it was wide and deep where we hit the heartland. This was the first time we hit the heartland, and of course our target was the nursery and the masters. And like I told you, and this has never been done, and even Pakistan was not expecting that the heartland will be hit, and that's what came as a shocker to them. But were we prepared for it? Yes, we were prepared for it to absorb the blowback which will come up. So finally we chose 5 targets in Jammu and Kashmir and 4 targets in Punjab, and out of which 2 were with the Air Force, because the kind of ammunition which was required was much more, and such a long range, if you have to send it, then the options are either with the Army, Navy, Air Force, long range weapons, or with the Air Force. So First one, which I will talk about the intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, because we realize that the common operational int picture is something which is important, or integrated picture which is important. We have for the Army, we have for the Navy, we have for the Air Force. But getting it together so that all the, if I can say, the layers can sit on one and then we can take the decision. That is something which we have not been doing. By the way, this is the first time that the India has one operational name, common name as Op Sindoor. Earlier we used to have, for example, if it's Kargil, so you'll have Op Vijay for Army, Safed Sagar for Air Force, and so on and so forth. So even if we were kind of having some problems, inside the room there was no cameras. We could sort it out and come back as a fresh man when we come outside. But what is important is the differences must be discussed and it must be overcome. And that's what we could achieve.